Good Thursday afternoon, everybody.
That was Friday.
Okay, don't confuse me because my week's already messed up. So
Yeah.
today is our Facebook Live episode number 53.
53. So that means we're officially past 1 year.
1
We've
year.
eclipsed 1 year.
Well, we've actually probably been doing it longer than
We've
that,
missed
but-
weeks,
right,
but
right. So
yeah.
this week we want to welcome everybody.
We got some new faces.
We do. I don't know if anybody knows, but this is Eric. He's in our marketing department, and I am TJ Big Country.
How long has it been since you've been on?
It's been a while.
It's been months for me. I was on in the very beginning, and then
Yeah,
Yeah,
episode
yeah.
3, and then
Then we got
cut-
kicked
yeah,
off.
We're like, yeah.
I didn't make the
forget
cut. So,
him. Yeah, we're like, forget
but
him.
we're back because everybody's gone. No one's in the building today.
Yeah, everybody is out at trade shows, or Chris was,
He's probably sleeping.
well, I don't know if he's sleeping. I think he was like 20 minutes out. But Chris was on WLW late night last night with Steve Summers,
Yeah,
talking
12
to truckers.
midnight to 5 a.m. So that's why he didn't make it in.
Yeah, and so it is Eric and I now. And we are dual streaming on Facebook Live and on YouTube. As always, be sure to like and share this video. Comment down below any questions you have. Me and Eric are going to answer them all for you.
We're gonna try.
Even giving you some of the dirt that some of these other guys won't give you, we're going to give it to
We're
you.
not tribologists, but we'll do our best.
I'll be whatever you want me to be, okay?
All right.
On today's video, we're going to answer your questions as we always do. Be sure to post them below, like I said. A recap of what's going on here at Hot Shot Secret. A free product giveaway. We'll announce 2 winners live at the end of today's show. But then if you don't watch it live, be sure to still comment on the video, and we will actually pick 2 additional winners.
Yeah, because some people
After
maybe
hours.
they're at work or they're not able to tune in live. So new thing, a couple weeks now, we're going to choose people after hours, and we did get a guy from last week who commented post being live. So who do we got from last week?
It is Mike Bethune. Maybe I said that name wrong. If I did, I'm sorry. But he asked after hours last week, I've never used any of your products, but how does this compare to product like Howes? And Mike is actually going to receive some of our Diesel Extreme to be able to
I think that's fair.
see how it compares to Howes. A lot of people
No better way to try.
ask us that, and we'd be more than happy to let you try
Yep.
it, and you can see the difference immediately.
So Mike, if you're not watching, we'll send you a quick message, get your info, and get a free bottle out to you.
Yeah. So go ahead with announcements. You know.
Yeah, so last week, you see the Yeti over here. Last week, the contest ended. So we ran it for 2 weeks, and we got a winner. So we're excited about this. Thanks to everybody who participated. We had a couple hundred entries, and everything this person's going to get, the Yeti, which is about $200, $250 worth of cash, and a year's supply worth of products that you see on the screen there. Levi's got pulled up. So Stiction, FR3, Diesel Extreme, TSE, and EDT. So drum roll, TJ. Who's the big winner?
Big winner is Preston Hill. Preston, if you are watching this.
Oh, he's getting some love
Oh,
too.
you get some love on the live screen here on Instagram.
There you go. Everybody go give him a like, follow him on Instagram.
Yeah.
So Preston's the big winner. Congrats.
Congrats, Preston.
Here's his video that he posted and tagged us in. Rolling Cole. So that was his post to enter. He tagged us, used hashtag WinHSS, and told us why he loves his diesel. So congrats, Preston. We'll get a hold of you and make sure we get everything shipped out to you.
Also, remember, if you have any questions, post them below. We're going to get to them. Dealer shout-outs this week. J&H Auto LLC out of Akron, Colorado. Ridgeline Rentals, new. Actually, they are Tyson and them. They actually have a Facebook group that they have been using our product as a giveaway. And they actually came on board as a dealer, so that's a cool deal. Deputy Diesel Performance, they're new too. They're out of Summerland, British Columbia, Canada. Kraus Automotive and Performance out of Soddy Daisy, Tennessee, which these guys are, Steven and them,
yeah.
They're a great group of guys. We seen them when we were down at the Tennessee, the RLC Rocky Top shootout. So they were great guys to talk with. A lot of people they know in the community and a lot of people out in the southeastern states. So keep them coming every week. We're looking for new dealers. We definitely have specials for you where we will be more than happy to shout you out on Facebook and help you out in any way we can.
And we'll get to this in a bit, but any shops out there, it's going to be at Scheid this weekend over in Terre Haute, Indiana. Go see Diesel Don. He'll get you hooked up.
Yeah, Diesel Don will get you hooked up. So what's going on at Hot Shots?
Well, hang on, slow your roll,
okay.
TJ. Let's see what we got going here in the comments. What's up, Casey and Sean? Good to see you guys. Dorian. What's up, Dorian? You know Dorian.
Dorian. Yeah, of course I know Dorian. Dorian, how you doing? He's probably almost to Shides now.
Maybe he's
or
on the
heading
road.
out soon.
He should be getting there. Yeah.
Him and that.
He's got some bad trucks.
He's got. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Michael Dover's chiming in. We'll be talking about Michael here soon too. They're Memphis Street Outlaw guys. They're actually in Ohio this weekend, so he'll be hooking up with Kyle. Troy, hey Troy, Jolene, Mara, Sean. All right, guys. So let's see what's going on in Hot Shots, TJ. Like we mentioned, everybody's out right now. So Kyle is in Ohio. He's Eastern Ohio somewhere. He's going to the Memphis Street Outlaws.
Yep. The JJ Arm Drop.
Yep.
And that's actually going on today through Saturday, and then it's Freebird Dragway in Smithfield, Ohio. He swore to me it was Smithville, and I was like, there is no way. Smithville is up, like, in Wayne County. I was like, it is not there. I was like, I've been there.
Well, this is like a little small podunk track in the middle of nowhere. So
yeah, and the payout is
cool.
$10,000, so
$10,000.
It's kind of a big.
We ought to jump in the Hot Shots truck and head out there and enter, see if we can bring that home.
I mean, if we can drive as good as Artie Moppin drives, I'm sure that we could probably win some cash.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Anyone can pay to go heads up with Street Outlaw Gang. So if anybody wants to go up to Smithville, Ohio, feel free. Try to win some money.
You pay to enter, and then you can go up against whoever you want.
And like we said, Kyle is actually heading out there as we speak.
He left this morning.
Yeah, he left this morning. So East Ohio. Also, what is going on?
We mentioned Chris.
We mentioned Chris. Chris was on WLW overnight on America's Trucking Network with Steve Summers, 10 a.m. to 5, talking DPFs, motorsports, zinc, ultra-low sulfur diesel. And if you just
All the
search
good stuff.
700 WLW on iHeartRadio, you'll actually find it and you can listen to it. It's actually not.
It's a good listen. It's 5 hours, but it's broken up by hour, so you can listen hour 1, hour 2. But yeah, go search it, listen to it. He really dives into some good stuff, and it's a good listen.
And then, as Eric was saying, also the Outlaw Diesel Super Series will be at Scheid Diesel Extravaganza this weekend. It's the 5th leg of the ODSS circuit, August 23rd through the 24th, which is kind of weird for some people because they're used to it being a 3-day event, where they moved it back to a 2-day event this time. I don't know if it's because some of y'all get so crazy and rowdy that they decide to cut it off. But
there's been a few incidents.
But there is a party bus on its way, or we'll call it a party RV.
Yeah.
That is on its way, and if I could tell you right now that they about hit me this morning, if they're watching this, I want you to know I caught you.
So, yeah, what? Probably a big 40-foot RV and a trailer they're bringing out.
And the trailer on the back. So
who's going? We got, like I said, Diesel Don will be out there.
Diesel Don. You got Brett and Chad.
Kevin.
Kevin went out.
So you guys know Kevin. If you're at Shides, go pick his brain. Ask him some tough questions and learn from the guy.
Yeah, Kevin is one of those guys where if you have him in a room, within 5 minutes you'll feel like your brain's melting from all the intelligence that he has. So, yeah, definitely going. It's one of the biggest diesel events you'll see this year.
They got the drag racing, of course, but what else? They got tractor pulls. Do they pull dyno out at Shides?
If I'm not mistaken, I think they're doing dyno as well.
Yeah.
So
something for everybody.
We'll have 2 booths set up, one inside, one outside, so you can't say you missed us because we'll be outside and inside.
We even got a customer's truck in the booth. So this is something we do from time to time. If we need some space filled up, we'll reach out to you guys to see if anybody's going to be in the area, if they got a truck they want to showcase in the booth. So always stay tuned to our social media, and maybe we get your truck featured in the booth.
And some of those guys actually kind of like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Our booth gets quite a few people to come in, but then when they see their trucks being looked at by a bunch of people, it's kind of cool for them. So
taking pictures and stuff.
What's going on this weekend in the world of TV?
We got a Truck Tech episode on Sunday at 8 a.m. That's on History Channel. This particular episode is the one they went out to the Ultimate Call Out Challenge earlier this year, and they filmed the whole event. So be sure to tune into that. They'll be talking about our products. We got a feature on there. Like I said, History Channel, 8 a.m. on Sunday. And then Truck U, we're always on with these guys. Truck U, Two Guys Garage. So also Sunday, a little bit later at 10:30 in the morning, we'll be on Truck U. This is flip over to Velocity Channel, and they'll be talking about our Stiction Eliminator and Diesel Extreme. So those guys will be diving into those products.
Awesome. So right now, do we have any questions that we can answer?
Let's see. Everybody's giving love to Preston for winning the Yeti. Justin asks, how often should I be using FR3?
FR3 normally, rule of thumb is Stiction Eliminator every 4th oil change, and in between use the FR3. If you are a gas owner like I am on a lot of vehicles, I use the FR3 more than I use a Stiction. I use Stiction Eliminator about once a year.
Yeah.
So
Well, it depends how many miles you drive too.
So just totally depends on how many times you're doing an oil change and everything like that. But Stiction Eliminator and FR3 normally in between.
Yeah. Let's see. Sean asks, he's got a 2000 F250. He's asking, what kind of product do we got for his transfer case?
FR3.
Yeah.
People always.
Come on, Sean. You should know that.
FR3 transfer cases. You have the hydraulics and stuff like that, differentials. You can use FR3 in almost everything.
Yep. Scott asks, what's the best lubricant additive to lube injection pumps?
Lube injection pumps. That would be our new LX.
We don't have it.
we don't even have it out here.
But it's we got labels coming in today. They're going to arrive today, so the guys in the warehouse will be bottling the product. So hopefully, Levi, when are we going to put it on the web?
2 weeks.
No, hopefully real soon. So as soon as we get it bottled, we'll have it for sale. But it's our newest product. It's LX4 Lubricity Extreme. It's by far the best lubricity additive on the market.
And from what I'm hearing is it actually is going to go in the EDT and the Diesel Extreme. So
Yep.
a lot of these guys who are, well, I'm not going to just buy a lubricity product. Okay, we understand that. So that EDT and the Diesel Extreme will, in fact, be infused with that new lubricity additive, where the wear score got down to 194, which is huge compared to anything on the market.
What's the level it needs to be at by OEM? Isn't it like 560?
Yeah, it's 560. So
the higher the number, the worse it is, because that means the bigger the wear scar. So the lower the number, the better.
right.
And ours, and it was the diesel fuel that we tested at the time, we got it all the way down to below 200, which is huge. That's huge.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys with, especially Duramax owners with CP3 and CP4 pumps that you've been reading all this about the lawsuit and everything going on, this will help you to not have to have a pump that's going to grenade on you because you've been set up to pay money for a pump. So,
Because our fuel, and the diesel fuel in the United States is not nearly as good as what it is overseas.
Right.
So that's been a big problem.
yeah, and a lot of people may not know that when diesel fuel in others, like countries and everything, they do not take out as much sulfur and stuff like we do. So it's not as dry. But yeah, that additive will be coming shortly. I did see some of the artwork. Some of the guys who even got those mystery boxes got some lubricity.
They got
additive
it
to try.
beforehand, yeah. Before
And it was
even
actually a
out.
16-ounce squeeze bottle of it, and we had
Yep.
tons of guys calling and asking, "Can I use this in my gas engine? Can I use it in my diesel?" Yeah, you could use it in gas and diesel.
We've heard a lot of good feedback from those guys. Even Trey. A lot of you guys know Trey. He got his hands on some. He's been out there testing, and we know, like you said, the fuel pump CP4, CP3, but we're hearing a lot of good feedback on fuel economy gains.
Right.
So we're super excited about that. So, but anyways, that's be coming out soon. So Scott, stay tuned for that. Hey, Michelle and Shane. Kathy asked if we saw her PM she sent. I'm not sure. So if we didn't, reach back out to us. Dan asks, can we mix Diesel Extreme with Anti-Gel in the winter, or is there no point to do that?
I mean, you can, but there's no real reason to mix the two. The diesel winter anti-gel actually has a lot of the same properties as the EDT, plus the solvent to make sure that you're not freezing up and gelling up lines.
So yeah, Dan, your best bet really is to use Diesel Extreme before winter hits,
Right.
so you get that good clean out, and then you just use DWAG all winter long, and you'll be good.
Diesel Winter Anti-Gel is DWAG. To everybody that doesn't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan Zelt makes a good point. The CP4 pumps, Ford actually has those as well.
Oh, really?
So people are just looking at Duramaxes, but he's right. The Power Strokes do have the pumps as well. So you have we got a lot of feedback on this when we posted it on our Facebook page, and how people were saying, yeah, well, first they take the fuel and they degrade it. Now they're taking our actual hardware inside of our engines and trucks and degrading it. Well, you got to think they're in a market of making business, so
Yeah.
if nothing on the market can take care of it, then why not make something like that? But now they're going to have a fight where we have product now that can help you.
Speaking of our new lubricity product, I was listening to Chris on WLW last night, and Trey called in. They were talking about the product, and Trey made this quote. He said, hopefully he's right, I'm not sure, but he said the average failure rate of these fuel pumps in the U.S. is about 7% over its lifetime compared to overseas, which is about 3%. So Trey, I hope you're not lying to me, because
No,
I just quoted you. But
No, he actually is right. I actually fact-checked him whenever we were in Xenia. He said the same thing on our live video that we did down there, and he is right. There is a certain percentage that as you add the lubricity, it will actually decrease the percentage of that pump actually going out. And I think it was, Scott actually was saying the diesel, the Dodge Eco Diesel actually has CP4 pump too. So, I mean, it's not just a Duramax thing. They're moving towards these new pumps, trying to. Okay, I'm not going to say that out loud, but yeah.
So we're doing our part. We're bringing this product out, and treat ratio is 1 ounce per 10 gallons. So you buy a 16-ounce bottle, it's going to last 160 gallons. So, like I said, hopefully within a week, 2 weeks, Levi, we'll have it up on the web, and you guys can pick that up.
Absolutely.
James Bruce, hey James, he says, "Big Country, you stud. The beer's looking good."
Cowboy Thor.
Let's see. Sean, he says he knew it was FR3. He wants to swap fluid, so just get transfer case fluid and add FR3. Yeah. Yep.
That's all you need to do.
Dan chimed in, like you said. He mentioned the Ford has the same CP4 pump. You work with Dan, right?
Yeah, Dan is one of our dealers in Wisconsin, in Eagle Point, and he is.
Speaking of DWAG,
he's-
Wisconsin.
Yeah, he's killing it up there. I mean,
Yeah.
I won't give the specifics, but let's just say he had probably the fastest stock Duramax in the NHRDA, and there's something in the works now where next year people are going to be like, "Holy smokes! I know,
Yeah.
I know who Dan Zelton is."
Is he in the circuit now? Dan, are you?
He is not. He's not racing ODSS because his truck is torn apart right now and everything is getting redone. Yesterday, when I talked to him, he had gotten new parts from SoCal and stuff, so they're
getting there?
getting there.
Yeah. All right, Jake. Let's see. Hey, Jake. He asks, "What does it take to become a dealer?" He's interested in using our oil in his ag equipment.
Well, Jake, me and you've talked already. All you'd want to do is call in, talk to me, and we can get you sent over everything about becoming a dealer. Be more than happy to work with you. I've already worked with you, send you some oil and everything, and I know that you've tested it and tried it, so be more than happy to have you on board.
Yeah, actually, Jake, if you hop on our website, go to articles, and scroll down the page quite a bit. We have an article out that we did on maintaining ag equipment and how you can incorporate our products. So go give that a read. Scott says the Dodge Eco Diesels too.
Yeah.
Logan asks, TJ, what does Stiction Eliminator do?
Stiction Eliminator is a product that is like a deep clean. Now, whenever I say deep clean, I don't mean it's a flush where you put it in and then dump it after 200 miles.
Right.
Stiction Eliminator, the longer it is in, the better it will do. So anywhere inside of your engine where we have turned on our engines, heated it up, shut it down, allowed it to cool, your oil begins to carbon up around rings on the walls of the engine. That Stiction Eliminator will actually go through and dissolve it all back down to an oil base.
Puts it back in a solution. We get a lot of questions
Yeah.
of people that they say, if I use this, will like break chunks off and go through my system. Well, it doesn't work like that.
No,
It'll
no.
eat it away, dissolve it, put it back into solution.
Yeah, so that it can flow freely
Yeah.
throughout your oil system, and you're not having that issue of having gumming up and everything. And a lot of people with the FR3 is a little bit inside the stiction eliminator, which is great because it will restore the rings and seals that are starting to deteriorate from all the carbon buildup that's constantly breaking down those seals and rings. So stiction eliminator is a great product. It's people don't give it as much credit sometimes as I think it should have.
If you got, I mean, even at 50,000 miles, you should run stiction and get a good clean out.
Yeah.
The best simplest way to put it, I think, is going to give your internals a deep clean, but it's also nano lubricant, so it's going to reduce wear and just give you that longevity, make everything last longer.
Right.
Let's see. Scott says the new Duramax HP5 is not a Bosch pump anymore.
Nice.
There's Trey. Trey, we were just talking about you.
Yeah.
Trey joined us. He's watching. Dan says we're going to come back strong, and I am in customers loving the products and the gains that they get from them. A good deal, Dan. We're like TJ said, we're glad to have you aboard. Yeah.
Dan's been one of those people. If I have a Duramax question, he's probably the person I'm going to go to.
Really?
He's in depth. There's been a lot of customers have called in and asked questions on Duramaxes. I have no stinking clue what they're talking about. But then whenever I've talked to him, and I'm not like a lot of people, but I'll sponge that stuff in and know that next time somebody asks me, I'll be able to. Of course, Cowboy Thor and his coffee mug.
We speaking of Dan, we did an article earlier this year. I believe it was common Duramax problems.
Yeah.
Didn't Dan help out with that?
Yeah,
He gave
Dan
us some
helped
quotes.
out with that, and it was actually a really good article and everything. So, yeah, thank you, Dan, very much.
All right, Michelle and Shane ask, been using stiction eliminator every oil change on their 6.7 Cummins. Will be switching to FR3 now. Have noticed 1.5 to 2 miles per gallon gain, and it's a lot quieter. So that's awesome. Good deal. We hear that all the time.
Yeah.
It's like we can sit up here and preach about it and tell you guys every day, right? But it's just give it a try. And our biggest way to spread the Hot Shots name is word of mouth. And so it's people who try the product, they get great results, and they tell all their buddies about it. So it's just a testament to really R&D and Chris and all the nerds around here.
We don't have billions of dollars to go and pay people to talk about our product.
Right.
So it honestly has become where you try it and you tell somebody about it. And I mean, I always tell people when they ask me where I work at, I tell them that I work for Lubrication Specialties, Hot Shot Secret. And I kind of tell them that I was one of those people that I didn't know if I believed in something like this, but then it was like, he's like, try it. Chris was like, try it. Go ahead and see if it works. And it did. And at that point, I was sold. I was like, okay, well, I'll tell everybody about it. And
It makes our jobs easy.
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Whenever I can sit on a phone with a customer and say, listen, I trust that this is going to work, I feel more confident than if it didn't work for me and then I'm sitting there telling you, feeling like I'm lying to you. But no, it definitely is worth a try. And if it works for you, great. And tell other people about it. And if there is something that we couldn't fix, like a broken injector tip or something, we'll give you your money back. We tout it. We'll refund your money.
Or sometimes it's a case of maybe you tried the wrong product or didn't use enough, so we'll always send out another bottle. Hey, give this a shot. If it doesn't work, then
Absolutely.
money back, no problem. So guys, I'm usually behind the camera. I put together talking points for our shows. We're light today. We just had a couple of updates, so we don't have anything else. It's just your questions, so make sure you post them. And we got a question from Sean. Sean asks, what new products are we working on?
Well, good thing you should ask, Sean. I think that they've told everybody they were working on the RV.
Yeah, we got a whole line of RV products.
And then that new lubricity product. But as far as newer products, I don't know how much we could tell.
Well, careful what you say, because Chris just walked in, so we got to keep it on the straight and narrow here.
He's probably running off 2 hours of sleep, and his voice probably hurts.
Yeah,
after
I bet
everything
so.
Happening over the night,
But Sean, yeah, we're always working on something. I know TJ mentioned the RV products, lubricity products coming out. Oils, R&D is always messing with oils. We got transmission fluids we're working on, the Secret Mesh we've talked about, G56 fluid. Actually been talking with Artie Maupin at Diesel Army, and we just sent him out some samples of this. He's going to do a story on it and do some more field tests, so we're excited about that.
Well, and Chad Myers actually just did a YouTube video
Yeah,
on
he got some.
G56 as well, because I think he has 2 Dodges, and one's down right now, so he's putting it in the other one and going to test it out for us and let us
And he's
know how it
watching,
is.
so Chad, keep us in the loop on that. Kathy asks, can she use Stiction Eliminator in a Cat engine?
Absolutely. You can use Stiction Eliminator in every engine out there. Cat engines as well will benefit.
In particular, because
Yeah.
they have kind of notoriously are bad for buildup.
Yeah. So definitely the Stiction Eliminator and the Cat engines will work.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Hey Matt, he says Diesel Extreme and his 6.7 F250 made a huge difference, so we're glad to hear that. Matt, have you tried EDT yet? Right here, give that a try if you haven't. Let us know. All right, guys. Finally getting some more comments in. I'm losing my place. Michelle and Shane, they chime back in, so they tell everybody they can. Been trying to get to work to use it in our fleet of semis. Well, we appreciate that.
Yeah, we actually do. We're working on. We had talked with one of our dealers in Kansas. Had asked about using our 10W30 oil in his PACCAR motors, which is Kenworth and Peterbilt.
I guess we got to make room.
Yeah, we got to make room for Chris.
Come on in, Chris. He can't stay away.
He wants to.
I was debating on whether or not to jump in on this, but I figured I might as well come in and update you guys on how the radio thing went last night. But keep going.
So we worked with one of our dealers. He owns a fleet of semis with Kenworth and Peterbilt that are PACCAR built, and he was wondering if he can actually use our motor oil inside of those engines since they are leased out for 50,000 miles and then sold back into the public and anybody can buy them. Well, we got the email today where they had said, hey, yeah, they meet all the specifications to be put inside of our engine. So that's huge. If you got Peterbilt's, Kenworth, any PACCAR motor that
Yeah, you can be comfortable using our oil. There's no issues there.
We'll definitely get all that out to you guys. But since Chris is here, we'll let you.
Yeah,
let you guys
Chris,
know how
WLW, America's Trucking Network
Yep.
last night. How'd it go?
It was great. We had calls all night. You know, at the end of the night, we had to start crossing the lines off, you know, because we didn't have enough time to get to them. And it seems like with all the commercials and things, it goes really quickly. It's 5 hours is a long time, especially when it's midnight till 5 a.m. And I'm not used to being up from midnight till 5 a.m. so that takes a lot of work. But it was good. I mean, a lot of good questions, a lot of good comments, a lot of testimonials, people calling in talking about the improved fuel economy, their trucks running better. I think probably the winner as far as the most calls was on the transmission stiction eliminator.
Really?
Oh, we
Go
had-
figure.
I had no idea that there was that many people using it. I mean, they just kept calling and calling and calling about that, so that was good. Engine oils were a big hit. And then the racing, they didn't seem to be at all familiar with that, so Trey called in. And I didn't know Trey's first name was John.
John, yeah.
That kind of.
The cat's out of the bag now, Trey.
This is John, and he keeps calling him John. I'm thinking, who is this? He says, well, I'm actually Trey Sykes, and it's like, okay. But yeah, he did a great job. He sounded good, and it was good.
Oh, good deal.
Just catching up with their sleep cycle is the hard part.
That's
You know?
it. Yeah, that's
How
what
many
it's
cups
about.
of coffee have you had today?
This is my second cup,
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm kind of on low, but it's double caffeinated.
Oh,
and you know that cold coffee stuff that you got?
Yeah.
That got me through the night because I brought that with me. So that was the deal.
Chris, how long have you been going down to WLW?
10 years. Wow. It's been 10 years. Yeah. When we started, when it was just me and Levi, actually it was even before Levi.
So it was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was just me. And then I went on WLW. We couldn't give Stiction Eliminator away at that point because we didn't have anything, any marketing or anything. And I went on the radio and said, I told the salesperson, hey, I need a couple minutes to explain how this product works. And he said, no, you guys aren't big enough. You can't do that. And I'm saying, well, we can't really afford any more advertising. So he says, okay, we'll give you 10 minutes. That's all you get. And he was pretty harsh on me about it. So I went down and, from midnight till 12:30, Steve Summers, he talks about, the weather and traffic jams, and he's going through like news bulletins. And he says, and we got the owner of Lubrication Specialties here, it's Chris Cabrell. He's going to talk about their product, Hot Shot Secret. At the time, Stiction Eliminator was called Hot Shot Secret. So
As a product.
That was the product, because later on we made it a brand name, and then so 12:30 I get on there, and as soon as I started talking about it, all 8 lines lit up. Because we were talking about a problem that everybody was having, and nobody was talking about it all at the time. Nobody in the world had ever heard of Stiction at that point. We were really the only ones that brought it out. And then, an hour went by, and I could see the salesman walking back and forth in the producer's booth, just nervous as can be. So then, they have breaks at the top of the hour. He stepped out. He says, well, when the phone lines quit ringing, then get him off the air. Like, don't let him be on there because he doesn't spend enough money with us. So it's the way it goes, man. So all night long, all 8 lines were lit. And then around 4:30 or so, whenever we would answer one, they would cross it out and make it sound busy. And they just kept doing that until we got through them all. And then by the time we got home, we had, hundreds of orders. The phone was ringing off the hook. And, we were, at that time, we were blending product in drums and pumping with a hand pump. So we're literally filling up. I had all the kids out there, and they're filling the bottles up and putting the labels on and, putting them in the boxes.
That was a good jump off point.
It was a new phase in development. So it was exciting.
Good.
And we talked about that last night on the air, and talked to Steve about how long I've been going down there. I should go down once a quarter, but there's so much going on here. It's hard to break away.
Right.
It's not just the evening. For me, it takes about 2 or 3 days before my body gets back used to sleeping, and because I only get usually about 2 hours sleep. You get back to the hotel at 5:30, and then about 7:30 everybody's leaving, so you keep hearing these doors slam. Everybody's leaving, and when those doors hit, and then from there the maids are knocking on the doors, and even if it's not my door, you can still hear them going down the hall. Is anybody there? So you're done. I mean, you get 2 hours and that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
And this was America's Trucking Network, 700 WLW, and these are a lot of just owner-operators, over-the-road type guys, right?
Yep, and they're usually parked at a truck stop or parked at a rest area, and they're listening to the show. It's been on. It's probably the oldest trucking radio program that's been on the air. It started with Steve's dad. It was called the Truckin' Bozo Show.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that thing goes back to the 70s or 60s. I mean, I've talked to people who have said I listened to that when I was driving cross country back when AM was king, because back then AM signals were almost coast to coast.
Right.
After a certain point, they found out that having the radio waves that much was killing cows and people, so they turned them down a little bit, the radiation from them, but they're still pretty strong.
Well, what's crazy now is I got in the office this morning and I searched iHeart on their podcast. I found their podcast and they had it broken up by hour. I was telling everyone to go look, find it, and you can listen to it that way.
It's all about the app now.
Right.
And but Steve's dad started the Truckin' Bozo Show, and people would listen to that all night when they were driving. And then when XM came into existence, they hired Steve Jr. was the weekend. So his dad worked during the week, and he came in on Saturdays and Sundays. And then XM, it would have been 20 years ago, he said. 20 years ago. XM hired his dad away, and he went to work. He went to Florida and just did the program on XM satellite. And Steve took over the program full time during the weekdays, and he's been doing it ever since. So it's probably the #1 rated trucking show on the radio. There's only a few of them, but I don't know how many people stay up from midnight to 5, but it's a thing if you're not a sleeper.
Well, and I mean, I actually had my first call this morning was John Brady, who owns Brady Trucking out of Wisconsin, who he said that he's used another product that is made here in Ohio, and he said that he didn't really see any difference in using their product from the product he used to use, and he wanted to know if he could get some of our product and try it. So he bought quite a bit of product from it and said that from what he heard you talking about, he said, I've never heard somebody in depth go and talk about it like that. So
Well, that was the discussion off air. Like whenever we cut to commercials, it was, are people still listening to radio, especially AM radio? Because people make fun of me for listening to AM radio. But I told them that we find it to be an effective tool because it is a complicated product. It takes a lot to explain it, and 30 seconds, a minute, it doesn't do well. But something like this, Facebook or on the radio, when you're there for 5 hours, you can field calls from all over. And with the iHeart app now, it's literally all over the world that you're getting calls from.
Yeah.
It used to be on XM, which was even better. So maybe one day we'll get back there.
yeah.
Maybe. So we got some more people chiming in. Casey says, tells everybody about Hot Shots. He's been asked at the fuel pump a few times what he's dumping in his tank. He says that's all they run in his 7.3. So Well, appreciate that, Casey.
You know, we had a lot of mileage games. We had several. I'd say
Call-ins last
call-ins
night.
last night. Yeah, about their like people that were tracking it and told us. One guy called in, said that he got from the Gasoline Extreme a 3 mile per gallon gain.
Wow.
That was pretty impressive.
Did he say what he was driving?
Yes, but I don't remember. It's a long night.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Go back and listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
Harold says he'd love to see a hot shot line of lubricants for motorcycles, fuel and oil additives for the V-twin engines.
We are working on that. That's one of our goals, is to start populating each of the areas like motorcycles, outdoor equipment, RVs, marine. So we're working through that quarter by quarter. In the meantime, you can use FR3. You know, we did put the FR3 in a Harley. There's a white paper on our website that gave us, I think it was a 3.2% gain on horsepower. So we know it works. We know that it's you know, can make a difference in there.
Right.
And from what I hear, it costs a lot of money to get that kind of gain from a Harley.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The Harley people last night on the radio were telling me that they'll spend hundreds of dollars for a 3% gain. So
Michelle and Shane, they said same thing in their case. They get a lot of people at the truck stops asking them what they're using, and they spend the next 5-10 minutes telling them about the product and selling them on it. So
keep doing that.
yeah, we really appreciate that. Brent, hey Brent, he asked, are the new product bottles shipping out yet? They
Yes.
are. Yeah, we got pallets of them out there going out the door every day. So hopefully soon, go to the retail, buy the old bottles so the new ones can get on the shelf. So
Yeah.
they'll be out there soon. Harold says the EDT is 6.7 Power Stroke. He loved it. Sean chimed back in. He asked, which oil was approved for the semi? And TJ, you were just talking about that.
We got approved through our 1030 green diamond oil, which some people are like, you guys have that? We do now. We were actually talking to him, and since he is buying in bulk, we had to get it okayed by PACCAR to be able to use it, and that was one of his choice, and he used it. And they
So what was it? We sent them the specs. They reviewed it.
Yeah, we sent them the tech data sheet. They went over it, looked at it, and said that it not only met the standards, but it actually exceeded them. So then, therefore, it was good to use in the engines.
All of the blue diamond and green diamond oils will exceed the manufacturer's needs and their recommendations, and they're all. I mean, the ones that are CK4 approved, those are all fine to use. So they're safe to use in any diesel engine. Actually, most gas engines too. So what TJ is referring to is actually getting the manufacturer to sign off on it.
Right.
That's up and above. But you can feel safe to use the green diamond or blue diamond in any diesel vehicle.
Even new, it's not going to void warranties or
No,
anything
right,
like that.
no.
So you're safe there.
Correct. It will not void the warranty.
Well, and that was the conversation. Is he said, I'm leasing it until it's 50,000 miles. Will it void the warranty? I want to check and make sure. So that's why it was sent off to him, to make sure we could.
It would not have voided the warranty anyway, but to make him feel better,
Right.
PACCAR
Exactly.
went ahead and gave us a sign off on it. And
Yeah.
we'll get those for all the other manufacturers as well.
Jake chimed back in. He says thanks. He'll get with us later about becoming a dealer. He's got a good story. He said TJ sent him some oil to try, and it works great. He had a terrible typewriter tick on his LML with the previous oil he was using, and completely went away after using Hot Shots oil.
We'd love
So
to
that's
hear.
good.
We'd like to hear those good stories. So, any other questions?
Yeah, everyone's chiming in. James says Brother George got his Hot Shot package in Greece, and he's
Oh,
excited.
there we go.
That was- that's
George,
cool.
George actually, George's from Greece, and Bruce and I had been talking to him, trying to get him to try some of the products, and he had messaged me about products he wanted, like FR3 and the gun oil and everything. I guess that whenever it first went over, something happened in customs where they didn't get it to him, and then we ended up sending it to a new address, and he got it. So look forward to hearing about his testimony, because Greece is a whole nother market for us.
Grease. We're also working on spray lubes. We have a spray grease that we're doing some experiments with. That'll be like a fifth wheel spray on grease, and one specially for RVs. A lot of truck drivers will put grease on a fifth wheel and smear it around. Well, if you're driving, a pickup truck with a camper, you don't really want to do that. You know, I don't think truck drivers want to do it either.
Right.
But we have a really good idea, and we're having it formulated right now for a spray-on version of that that will actually hold up longer and better than the stuff that you'd smear on with your hand.
See, when we say we're always working on something, it's not a lie.
Right.
It's
No,
always
no,
something.
there's-
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to remember all the projects we're working on.
Yeah, I
There's
know
so
it.
many of them.
Harold's got a good question. We get this on occasion. He asks, is FR3 okay to use with a wet clutch?
I would say yes. We have not tested it for wet clutch. TJ would say no because he's a
Well,
customer.
no, actually,
yeah.
I don't think I would say no because I actually had 2 calls last week where a guy had Harleys that they put it in the wet clutch and he said I think he said 100 hours on it and he said it's runs
fine.
better than it's ever ran. So, but I always tell customers I won't. We haven't tested it enough, but I'm not going to
So
tell you.
there's 2 levels going on. One is we know something will work and that there shouldn't be any reason for it not to work. And then there's the other place where we've tested it. You know, we've done a dyno, we put in the equipment, and we've monitored it to see where it goes. So there's no reason you shouldn't. There's no reason I wouldn't use it in a wet clutch. We haven't tested it there to be able to put out a document to say that. But Ricky's not here today, so we're okay.
Right. Brent asks, in his 6-liter Power Stroke, the power steering is spec to use Dexron 5ATF. Should he still use FR3 in it or TSE? Power steering.
FR3.
Yeah, FR3.
Use the FR3 because the TSE does not have an anti-lubricant in it, and the FR3 actually has all 3 patented products in it, where the TSE does not. That will do the better job on power steering.
There you go.
And you'll notice a big difference. You know, I went on the show down at Truck U. When we do the shoots at Truck U, especially in the early days, somebody from the company had to go down for quality assurance to make sure that they didn't say something inappropriate or just out of not understanding it, say something wrong. And as soon as I walked in, Willie came over. I guess it would have been 2 guys' garage. They came over. They stopped the shoot for a second, and he says, "Hey, I just want to tell you, man, that FR3 is like crazy good for power steering." He said, "We had a truck in here. I don't know if you guys have ever met Willie, but he's got like huge arms. He's a really big guy." And he says, "We had a truck in here with huge tires." And he said, "I had to go hand over hand to get it to turn." And he says, "I just took a shot glass full," that was his words, "a shot glass full of FR3, put in the power steering pump." And he says, "I could turn it with one hand." And he said, within 10 seconds. Because I could not believe it. So he's going on, you know, just raving about how good it worked. And I said, that's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
The good stories.
Here's a kind of a Franz question. Sean asks, he wants a Franz unit on a semi. Can we make a kit or tutorial for that?
Okay, this is the problem. Because the semi-truck has so much oil in it, it's not that the Franz couldn't clean it. There's a better way to get there from here. We do have a LSI 500. It's a larger bypass filter that works the same way. I will work on getting some information to you. If you instant message us, we will get you a brochure on it. It's kind of, since all these other products have kind of taken over, we've not done much with it the last couple of years, but we still have them in stock and we still sell them. It's a great way to go. It's probably 5 times, maybe 10 times larger. Oh, there's Levi's bringing it up. It's a lot larger than the Franz filter. We've been selling these filters for 20 years. Now, what was attractive about the Franz filter company before we bought it was that the filter was so small, we could fit it under the hood in a pickup truck. Before that, we used to take these, and this sounds kind of strange today because the Franz works so well on a pickup, but we used to take that filter that you see there, and it's probably about this big and this big around, and we would mount it on the inside frame of a pickup truck. And somewhere there's even an install video. So underneath the driver's seat, we would put it on the frame and then run the oil lines up. So when Franz came around, it was attractive to us because it gave us the same level of filtering, but in a much smaller, more compact way that would fit under the hood. And you know, it's better for a smaller sump, where that works better for the larger sump.
And speaking of FR or Franz and tutorials, I believe with our new video team we got in-house, Tate, didn't we work on a Franz install unit? I think it was on the 6-liter.
Yeah, him and Brett, if I'm not mistaken, went out and got it all taken care of.
It's a new product. It's a new version of the Franz. The Franz filter is the same, but what we did is put together the whole thing is pre-made so that you can install it in under 60 seconds. That was the goal. Did we do it in under 60 seconds?
Had to be close.
No.
No?
Under 60 seconds, but we did a lot of talking.
It's okay. So the idea
It's
is,
like 2 minutes.
you know, the bypass filtration makes total sense. I mean, it makes the engine last forever. It takes all the abrasive wear out, makes the oil last twice as long. The biggest obstacle to putting it in is the plumbing part. A lot of people don't like taking parts off the truck and
Right.
plumbing things in, so they get a little bit nervous, or even taking lags and putting them into the wheel well. You know, they just don't like drilling into their truck.
Right.
So what we did was we got these really heavy duty magnets, and we put them on the back of the frames, and it sticks on. Then we have pre-made lines that are, you know, stainless steel, so they look really cool.
Yep.
And it's all put together to the right length. All you have to do is change your two caps, the oil fill cap and the oil filter cap. Plug the lines onto it, snap them on, and that's it.
It was super simple.
There's
Yeah.
no tools required, and just plug and play. So we think that's going to be a whole new level of execution for the France filters. We'll start with the Ford 6.0s, then we'll do the 7.3s, and then we'll make units for the Duramax and for the Dodges. So your filter will go on quick and easy, and if you ever trade the truck in or want to sell it, you can always just take it off and
Pop
put
it
the
off.
yeah, you don't even
Yeah,
have to take it.
right.
Don't, just magnetically held on there. Just take them off and put it on the next truck.
Let's see. Michelle asks, is FR3 compatible with ATF plus 4?
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
absolutely.
There's no issues whatsoever. It would just make the ATF plus 4 a lot better than it was before.
I'm not seeing any more questions, so if you got them, post them below. But in the meantime, we do give product away. In preparation for this live show, I didn't have anything to give away, so I wanted to give it up to you guys. What kind of products do you want to give away?
You got any ideas, TJ?
We gave away EDT last week, so.
Let's give away a diesel duo kit. You know.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's
Ooh, okay.
get somebody's truck cleaned out. Somebody that hopefully somebody hasn't used it. If you have used it, give it to a friend that needs it. But send your names in, or you guys pick a name, and let's send out the Diesel Extreme and the Stiction Eliminator.
So you get 2 products. That's what happens when the boss shows up.
Well, the idea last night when we were on the radio, a lot of people hadn't heard of the two-sided clean because you know they're new listeners or whatever. So we were talking about how we developed those. You know, one to clean out the oil side of the engine, the other one to clean out the fuel side, and they really work in harmony together. Because once you put them both in, the truck runs like brand new again, and that's what we wanted. So we thought it would be great to maybe start talking about that and bring it back out, because we've moved on to so many things: engine oils, France filters,
Right.
FR3. It's like going back to the core, which is the diesel duo.
Is it
idea.
so it's a 2-quart Stiction? I believe 2-quart and, and Diesel Extreme. So,
Yep.
all right, that's 2 products. TJ, who do we want to give this product away to?
Do we want to do 2 winners or 1 winner?
Let's do 2 winners.
Well, we're gonna do 2 live on the show,
And then we'll do 2 later.
yeah,
for the-
anybody that watches
So,
post being live.
Let's do for the 2 winners on the live show right now. We'll give one away to Harold Simmons and then Michelle Shane Johnston. You guys need to contact us
There we
on
go.
our Facebook Messenger or on YouTube Messenger, whichever one.
You want, we'll send you out a box with products and then report back how it worked. If you've already used the products and you don't need those right now, find a friend that's got a diesel engine and say, hey, use this. We heard that a couple times on the radio last night where people had told their friends about it and gave them Stiction Eliminator and Diesel Extreme. And you know, the one fellow was talking about his son using it. He says, I could always hear him coming in. They live down in the country because you can hear
Yeah.
the engine tapping. And he said, I told him put those in there. He says, you can't even hear it now. He says he gets in there. He says, it's so much quieter. The truck runs better. So that's what we do.
Yeah. All right, so we'll be signing off here in a minute. Brian said he wanted the duo. Sorry, Brian. Tune in next week, next Thursday, 1:30. We'll give away more product.
Harold asked, he said, is there a Hot Shot Secret podcast? That is a very smart
That's a
idea.
good question, right?
Very smart idea.
We've kicked this around for a while now. We're finally getting really good traction on our Facebook show, so it's something we've definitely considered, right, Chris?
We have, and we've been talking to iHeartRadio. They have asked us to put together a podcast channel and said that we could start populating it. And they said we could even take these shows and edit them down if we wanted and start with those, but we're still
So
in
that's
negotiations.
encouraging, though. We're getting somebody who's asking about it, so maybe if we keep getting those in, we'll come out with something for you
And
guys.
I like the platform iHeartRadio has because everybody seems to have that app. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
that's- So it's easy just to pull the podcast up.
Absolutely.
Okay, one last question from Logan. He asks, Where can we get your oil? Only place he's found it is online. Only place he's found any of our products other than online is Tractor Supply.
If you actually go to our website, there is a find a store. If you type in your zip code, it will actually populate every small dealer to retailer that carries our product. Where a lot of the smaller dealers, they're the ones that have the oil currently. The retail guys.
Yeah, the engine oil, if you're asking about engine oil specifically, that would probably never be a retail product. It's just the margins aren't there for retail. Retailers have a lot of overhead, so they charge a lot more. It's a dealer only and online only product. I don't ever see it making its way to a retail shelf.
Yeah.
Tractor Supply is our largest distributor as far as the breadth of the line.
Yeah.
Right.
They carry the most products. But we have just about every retailer all the way down to Walmart. Walmart carries Stiction Eliminator. Menards carries Stiction Eliminator and Diesel Extreme. Of course, Pep Boys is the only one that doesn't. Advanced Auto, we're in Advanced Auto now. AutoZone, O'Reilly's, all 6,000 O'Reilly's carry our product. But the engine oils, hotshotsecret.com or one of our dealers would be a place to get that.
Yeah. Yep. You guys got anything else?
Nope, we're
That's what
good.
got
I think
here?
we had one more question. before
Yeah.
we go.
Go ahead.
Nathan Scott said, I just bought a school bus with a C7 cat. What products would help with longevity? Definitely Stiction Eliminator.
Yeah, get it
and
cleaned out first with
Diesel
Stiction Eliminator.
Extreme.
Yep, and then follow up with the FR3 and EDT. The FR3 will reduce the wear by 50%. It'll last a lot longer with it. Keep it clean with the Stiction Eliminator once or twice a year.
Yep.
And that's our routine. It seems to work every time.
So, yeah.
So last few points. If you want to listen to more of Chris, go to iHeart, search WLW, America's Trucking Network. It's their podcast. The first 5 clips are going to be Chris on there with Steve Summers. Also, Terre Haute, Indiana this weekend, Shy Diesel Extravaganza. If you're going to be in the area, swing by. We got 2 booths set up. We got the whole gang out there. So get some free samples, discounts on products. And that's all I got. You guys got anything?
Nope,
That's it.
We'll see everybody next
Yeah,
week.
next week. See you
Big
guys.
Country out.
Thanks for moving it right day and night.